Hello everyone, thanks for taking the time to view this training. I'm sorry that we couldn't all get together tonight. Sometimes it's hard to get everyone together, but I do think that this is really, really important for each and every one of you. Whether you're just starting off or you're a couple months in, it's very important also if you're sponsoring anybody that you know the information in order to launch them and make sure that they have a really strong start as well. So hopefully this won't be too long. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Alarine Doherty. I am your area manager, and whoever sponsored you, give them a nice pat on the back because this opportunity is so amazing and it can take you places that you never even dreamt of, but you do have to put a little belief into it, and you do have to follow your passion as well. So I'm going to talk a little bit right now about taking your business seriously, and it is very, very important that you do take this business serious. It is a business. This is not a hobby. And if you treat it like a hobby, you'll get paid like it's a hobby. And if you treat it like a business, you'll get paid like it is a business. Your friends and family will be far more supportive if they know that this is your business. Could potentially be your livelihood. This is going to turn your life around. It's going to get you out of the job you don't like. It's going to allow you to stay at home with your kids. Whatever your reason is for doing this, your friends and family need to know that it is serious and it's not just, as Jamie would say, a little lipstick business. So sit down after this and decide, is this going to be your business or is this going to be your hobby? And right away, you need to remove the option to quit. This business is simple, but it's not easy. And the only people that fail at this business are the people that quit. So while someone might make it to their goal in 1 month and it's taken you 9 months, that doesn't matter. The timeline doesn't matter, you guys. Just know that the only people that fail are the people that quit. So you need to be patient, first of all. It is a learn as you earn business, but also know that it does take time, and just remember that the best copycat wins. And you will hear Jamie and Claire say that all the time, and I can't express how important it is to know that. The best copycat wins. So your upline, and for those of you that don't know your upline is the people who have sponsored you. So your sponsor, I'm your upline, I'm your area manager. Jamie and Claire are your regional vice presidents. If you haven't met them, you'll definitely meet them at some point. Carly Struick is our national vice president, and we are all a part of this nation. And we are all copying our uplines. I bow down to Jamie and Claire. I do everything that they tell me to do. And they are following Carly, and Carly is following national vice presidents, and so on and so on and so on. Okay, there is a system to success, and it's very important that you try not to reinvent the wheel. It'll save you a lot of time if you just do exactly what the person above you is doing. They've already made all the mistakes, and they're going to guide you. I'm going to guide you to not make the same mistakes that I've made, and Jamie's guiding me not to make the same mistakes that she's made. And if there is one thing to know in network marketing, it is to follow your upline and don't change the system. And if you read any network marketing book, it will definitely tell you that. And on the note of books, reading is really, really important in this business as well. There's a really high percentage part to this business, and it's about personal growth and development. And it's really, the last thing it is about selling shampoos and conditioners. This is about building yourself up and building a business and building a team, and you get to do that. We always say you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. You have to be able to work when no one's watching, and so you just need to think about that. And sometimes it takes a year for people to realize that really no one's going to tell them what to do. So these are always our recommendations. Again, this is your business, and I'm not your boss. So do with it what you want, plug in, and take from it, but know that the best copycat does win. So for those of you that haven't seen this, and I really hope that you all have seen this, this is the consultant checklist. Is it? Oh, it's mirrored. Sorry. I'm just going to read from it anyways, but yeah, it's backwards. Each and every one of you should have gotten this when you started up. I am going to go through it just briefly because it does have some very good information on it. So your sponsor should have taken you through, there's 3 pages, should have taken you through this. This is your Holy Bible. This is what you need to know to get started. And I'm going to go into depth about some of the topics on here. So the first thing that I want to talk about is it is so very important to know why you're doing this. Your why is what is going to keep you going in this business when you're down and when you're up. So your why story is a 2-minute story. So sometimes it ends up being quite a bit longer than that. But it is your reason that you're going to tell people either quickly on the street when you meet them, or when you're going to tell your friends and family why you're doing this. And at parties, you always start off the parties with introducing yourself and letting people know why you have started this business. So your why story is very, very important. And trust me, when you're down in your business, because you will be at one point or another, your why is the reason that you keep going. It is the reason that you have it. The power of your why is so very important. And sometimes your why changes over time. In fact, I've been doing this for 9 months and my why is starting to change as well. And that's a good thing. That just shows the growth that happens within the business. So you need to take some time, and this should be one of the very first things that you do, besides trying all of the products. You need to take some time and write out your why, and be very genuine about this, and try and make it a story, and think about people that are going to relate to you. These people that you tell this story to, they're going to listen to you, and they're going to relate, and they're going to think, yeah, I feel that way too about my life, or yeah, I really don't like my job either, and I do want what she's saying, I really understand, and I want to hear more about this. And the power of your why, I can't express it enough. It is so very important. So you want to write down your why, and then you want to practice it a few times. And sometimes it will come natural to you, and sometimes it won't. But I can guarantee you, the amount of times you get asked, "So why are you doing this?" You gotta know. You can't say, "Oh, well, I just thought I'd try it out." That's not going to really interest a lot of people. So think pretty genuinely about your why, and practice it. So that is the very first thing that you should be doing. A really, really important in this business as well is your inspiration and training. So it is really, like I said, I'm not going to call you and say, have you listened to this, and are you doing this, and tell me the things you're doing to get started. I'm going to provide you with a lot of information, resources, videos, recordings. The source has Learn and Burns. There's an R1 University. You guys, the training, the support, it is all there, but no one is going to tell you that you have to do it. That is up to you. So trainings that I highly recommend that don't come around very often are really, really great ones. So for example, on Sunday, that training, that was a really great one to go to. The conferences, they will change your life. And okay, so people said that to me in the beginning too, like they'll change your life. And I'm like, okay, I'm not kidding you. There's a conference in Vegas in April, and there's a conference in Montreal next fall, and they'll change your life, and they'll change your business. I went area manager a week after I got home from Vegas. Super fun, but this business is more than I ever thought it could be. And if you give it a chance and have patience, you will also learn that as well. So plug in. I can't express enough. Plug in. Listen to the calls. Listen to the source. Listen to the Learn and Burns. And listen to the Learn and Burns. Listen to the same one over and over and over again. And it will become second nature to you, whichever one that you think is really good. And most of them are really good. But check it out on the source. And I have lots of recommendations for Learn and Burns as well. But also listen to our calls that are set out from our region. So Jamie and Claire put on goal calls every Sunday, and Carly also puts on some calls as well. Sorry, I'm just getting over being sick, so I'm going to cough here and there. And if you ever need any resources or anything, just email me. I am overly available. Email, text, phone call, Skype, FaceTime, whatever works for you. And especially one-on-ones and coffees, you guys. And more than anything, I just like to get together with you and face-to-face. I think that answers more questions, and it's more genuine to actually talk face to face. And I know that we're all really busy too, but just know that I'm always willing to get together with you. And so is Jamie, and so is Claire, and I'm sure so is your sponsor as well. So that's all I have to say about plugging in. I think you guys get it. You have no boss. be willing to work when no one's watching, okay? The next thing that I'm going to talk about is our system for success. And like I said, this is so very important. Now, we follow the 2 by 2 by 2 rule. So that will be 2 asks a day, or sorry, 2 business asks a day, 2 parties a week, and giving out 2 sample packs a week as well. And if you follow this every single week, trust me, you will be a district manager within 3 months. It's really, really important to stay persistent and to do this every single week. So I have a few different notes going on here, so just let me get organized. So I'm going to talk a little bit about parties. So the average that you make at a party is 400 to 500 QV. Now, all of you want to get to district manager as fast as you can. That is the way that you're going to earn the most money. When you get to district manager, first of all, your overrides double. And your overrides are the money that you're making on your team. So their sales, you get a percentage from their sales. That's going to double when you're in district manager. And you also qualify for bonuses when you're district manager, and your commissions increase as well. So really important to get to district manager as soon as you can. And trust me, a lot of people do this without a team. Now, I highly recommend starting to build a team as fast as you can. That is going to get you where you want to be as fast as possible. But just know that you can definitely make it there on your own. And I'm going to tell you how to do that right now. So our average amount of money sales at a party, average amount of QV at a party is 400 to about 500 QV. So if you know, first step district manager is 2,500 QV. And that's you'll do that in 1 month. To get to district manager in 2 months, you need 6,000 QV. And to get to district manager in 3 months, you need 7,500 QV. So if you do the math, and this is the way the business works at any level that you want to be at, if you do the math, if you need 2,500 QV in 1 month, how many parties are you going to need? So that's about 6 parties a month, okay? So that's 2 parties a week. So if you do 6 parties a month for 3 months, you will be a district manager. That's 2,500 QV every month for 3 months. You'll be a district manager. Okay. If you do 6 parties a month for 1 year, you will have your Mercedes-Benz in 1 year, and that is a quote directly from Anique Dean, who was 21. A quote from Becky Young, and she was NVP, National Vice President, at the age of 21 in a small town, Saskatchewan. And she guaranteed that if you hold 6 parties every month for 1 year, you will be in your Mercedes in 12 months. So if that's not motivation, I don't know what is. And you guys, the dice game has given us the vehicle to book more parties than I ever thought possible. My business I'm overwhelmed with business because of the dice game. So if any of you don't know about the dice game, ask your sponsor or shoot me an email and I will explain it to you. So we go by the rules, 6 for success, 8 to be great, and 10 to win. And just know, these are the amount of parties that we're talking about. So 6 for success, 6 parties a month, 8 to be great, that's 8 parties a month, and 10 to win, that's 10 parties a month. And just referring to the numbers, 4 is for frustration. So if you have 4 parties a month, you're going to get paid, but that's probably not going to be enough to successfully build a business to regional vice president. But if you're happy with 4 parties a month and you're making, $500 off those parties every month, then that's totally fine. So that being said, consistency is key. Okay, if you have 10 parties in 1 month, you should do 10 parties the next month. So don't have 6 parties in 1 month and then 2 the next, okay? You need to really focus on being consistent in every aspect of your business. And this is gonna help you reach your goals. And you also wanna discuss your goals with your upline. Okay, so you guys let me know what you want out of your business. I am here to help you reach your goals. And I can't stress enough how important goals are. Just myself as well. I will write goals down at the beginning of every month, and sometimes I don't write those goals down and I forget, and I just think of them in my head. And 2 weeks later, you wouldn't, I don't even think about them. I've totally forgotten that I've even made these goals. And I found when I write them down and I have them up above my computer, I am always thinking about what my goals are. And I have daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, and yearly goals. So at the beginning of every month, sit down and write what your goal is for this month. For example, my goal this month is to get 5,000 PQV because I'm really, really striving for that New York trip incentive. If you don't know about it, just ask me. I'll explain. But I need 20,000. Anybody needs 20,000 PQV in 3 months. So I have a pretty high goal every month until December to get 5,000 PQV. And knowing that goal at the beginning of the month, I can break down all my numbers and my parties and what I need to get in order to get that. If I wasn't striving for 5,000 PQV and suddenly it's October 20th and there's only 10 days left, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, where am I and where are my numbers and how am I going to get that 5,000 PQV by the end of the month? That puts me really not in a very good position. So knowing what my goals are from the beginning, I know from the beginning of the month, how many of this do I need to sell? How many parties do I need to have? How many signups are there going to be? And then I can work towards those small goals every day and every week. And by the end of the month, my goal will be achieved. So sometimes it's hard to make goals because you don't even know what to expect because this is a brand new business and you guys have never done this before. So give yourself a break. Give me a shout. I will sit down with you and I will help you with your goals. And you know what? If you're happy at district manager, then that's great. That is what I'm going to guide you to, and that's what you're going to get. If you really want area manager, that's awesome. That's what I need to guide you to, and I am going to put the steps in place for you to achieve that. So just know that I love you where you're at. And it doesn't matter to me where you want to be in this business, but know that each and every one of you can achieve your goals. So let me know, and I will help you reach them. Just remember, a goal without a plan is just a wish. So I'm going to talk a little bit about getting activity on your calendar, and this is what every new consultant has issues with. Really, people really don't even know where to start. So the very first thing that you want to do, and I'm sure you've heard this before, is make your 100-person contact list, and do this as soon as you can, like now, like when we hang up the computer here. Write your 100-person contact list. And an easy way to do this is actually to think about the people that you would choose for your wedding list. If you're going to get married tomorrow, okay? So who would you invite? And most people would have to cut their list down. So think about all those people that you invite, because if you're inviting them to your wedding, you best be talking to them about Arbonne, okay? And if you cross a person off on your list, just make sure you add another one. And when I started off, and this is no word of a lie, I had a really big, long list of people. And my list of people now is completely different than it was 9 months ago. So, you might think of 100 people today. Tomorrow, you might think of one more person. The next day, you might think of 5 more people. So don't just think to yourself, this is the only people I know. Just know that, think of some people later on too. But work really hard to get that 100-person contact list. And when you get those 100 people on the list, categorize them. So pick out the people that you know would love the products. Pick out the people that you know would host a party, and pick out the people who you just put on a pedestal and who you think would be awesome at this business. Okay, and then pick out the people on your chicken list, because everybody has a chicken list. And the people on your chicken list, a really good way to get over that, the people that you're too scared to talk to, is to write down their name every day, 10 times, if you can, if you have time to do that. The more that you write down the person's name, the less of a big deal they seem to you. And this is proven as well. I can't remember, I learned that in a training, but I've done it. And suddenly that name on the list, it doesn't look so scary anymore when you've written it over 100 times in a month. So, and really, you've heard this before, but what people think of you is none of your business. So if you're worried about what people think of you, you're probably not going to make it. I can tell you that right now. I'm just going to be blunt with you. You need to get over that. And everybody has those scary thoughts too, but you're going to have to pick up the phone. You're going to have to talk to people, and you're going to have to ask people for parties. And we have lots and lots of ways to do that. And it is not a bad thing. And really, people don't care that much. Okay, people really don't think about you as much as you think they think about you. So it does take some practice, and the more uncomfortable you are in this business, the better you're going to succeed. Trust me on that one. So another really good tip is to block 30 to 60 minutes per day to make phone calls. And about the phone, I don't know if you can talk to anyone that will say, I love calling people. It is probably the most uncomfortable thing that you'll do. I hate calling people, and I'll be the first one to admit that. But it is so necessary, and the results that you get from talking to people either face-to-face or over the phone are far different from Facebook and text messages. So a really good way to call people is to sit down and block out a chunk of time. 30 to 60 minutes, get out your contact list and make those phone calls. Sorry, I'm just missing my spot here. So you don't have to call 100 people in one day. You can pick the 30 to 60 minutes. You can call 3 to 5 people on your list and do that every day, okay? Just baby steps, just small steps. They'll lead to big things, but you need to be consistent about it. You need to also get into the right mindset when you're making calls, okay? So don't call anybody if you've just had a fight with your boyfriend, okay? It's gonna show through the phone, believe me. I know that Jamie puts on her favorite song and like dances around. If you've ever met Jamie, you can probably picture her dancing around before. And she gets into a really happy mindset. And then when you call people and you're in a good mood, that's gonna show through. And believe it or not, if you smile while you're talking, people are gonna know. So just keeping that in mind. So I have some verbiage for you, and a lot of people need some verbiage in the beginning. Trust me, do this verbiage. I know that a lot of people think it sounds cheesy. You can definitely kind of put your own genuine twang to it, but in the beginning, just try it out. And it sucks the first time that you're gonna call someone, trust me, but you know what? It really does work. And just remember, our whole nation is using this verbiage, okay? And we have a lot of successful people, so definitely take it into consideration. So I have a few different examples here for when you are calling people. I'm kind of scrolling down my list here. So you can call someone and say, hey Sally, do you have a quick minute? So don't say, is this a good time? Because what are they gonna say? No, it's not a good time. And then, you have to hang up and call back. So you can say, hey, Sally, do you have a quick minute? And they say, yeah, I do. And then you're going to tell them why you're calling, okay? So I've recently started my own business with a company called Arbonne. We have amazing new products, and I would love to share them with you and your friends. And then you're going to ask them to do you a favor. And this is really important. Would you be able to do me a small favor and get some girls together? I pamper everyone. I do a small presentation, and the best part is everyone can buy at a discount, and the hosts get amazing deals on their purchases. Sally, do you think you can help me out? And then the most important thing after that is to zip your lips. Some people, actually Karen Neufeld was saying that she literally closes her mouth because she can't talk, because she can't help but talk. Don't go back on it. Don't say, Sally, would you be willing to help me out? But it's okay if you don't. I totally understand. Don't do that, because then they'll say, oh yeah, okay, well I don't think I can. Really important. Just zip your lips and let them answer you. They are adults and they can say yes or no. So if they want you to call them back, make sure you schedule a time and be responsible. If you say, okay, I'll call you back on Friday at 5 o'clock. How does that sound? They say, that sounds great. Then you call them back on Friday at 5 o'clock. So that is your role in the phone call game. If they say no, then you can say, don't say okay and just hang up. you need to kind of use the negativity and turn it into a positive. They say, no, I'm not interested. Say, that's okay. I totally respect your opinion. And I'm wondering if I could bring over some samples for you to try. I always love testimonials. And on that note, that is very, very true. The more testimonials I get, the better, because people ask you at parties, have you tried this? Or like, how many people actually see results? And, you want to always be giving honest, true, genuine opinions. And you yourself should have tried all of the products, but also it feels really good to say, I have 5 clients that have tried this neck cream, and the results, they are so happy with the results. So yeah, really important that you actually do get the samples out there to people that even aren't interested in having the party. And I'll let you in on a little secret. When you get those products out there and they try the products, they will start to love them, and they will either want to buy them or host a party. So your number one commitment to the products is getting them into people's hands. And that is what network marketing is. You need to get the products into the consumer's hands. That's your job. And to make a lot of money as well. So just back to the phone thing. So say, I totally respect your opinion, and I would love some testimonials. Do you mind if would you mind if I dropped off some samples? And they say, sure. And then you can schedule a date. What time is good to drop them off? About dropping off samples, very, very important that you follow through. So drop off the samples, but make sure you get their contact information and you do call them back. I can't explain to you or tell you how many times people will drop off samples. Those people that are trying them will say, yeah, I love them, but they don't make the effort to call that person. I've called a lot of people back, and they say, yeah, actually I was thinking about calling you. You know what? I want to order this. And if I hadn't called them, they wouldn't have called me back. So if you're going to give out samples, make sure, don't waste the sample, and make sure you do call them back. And trust me, if you've all tried the products, they're amazing products. They sell themselves, okay? So just get the samples into people's hands. What else here? So, sorry, just catching up on my stuff. So also, if they do say yes to a party, there's a few things that usually happen that I'm going to kind of let you in on that you've probably noticed already if you're booking parties. A lot of times people would say, yeah, I'd love to have a party. Just let me talk to my friends and I'll get back to you. I can tell you a lot of people say that and then they don't get back to you. Okay, so some ways that you can work around that is say, okay, that's awesome. I really appreciate you doing this for me. Why don't we pick a tentative date? Because it's actually really hard to say to 10 different people what date works for you. It's easier just to say one date and invite a lot of people and kind of expect half to come. And then you can say, it's just a tentative date. See if you can get some people for that date, and if not, we can reschedule. It's no big deal. But trust me, it is easier just to invite a bunch of people to one date instead of trying to pick a date for a bunch of people. And most people will say, okay, yeah, that sounds good. And then another thing is when they do say, yes, I'll have a party, don't say, okay, I'm wide open in November. I got nothing going on. You want to be a hot commodity, okay? That makes people really more intrigued. So you'll start off at the beginning of the month and give them a few dates and then go from there. Don't just say, pick any day, it's fine. I'm not busy. My business isn't thriving. You definitely want to give the impression that you are a hot commodity. It's like the iPhone, right? It's like the iPhone 5, it's the iPhone 4, the iPhone 3. It's the same thing with a few updates, but how many people want it and are on a wait list forever and ever, right? It's a hot commodity. And people just want it so bad and aren't willing to wait. And that makes more people want it. And they say, oh, like there's a 400-person waiting list. Like it must be really good. So think about it that way. Okay, so for your calendar, there are some tips in booking your calendar here. You want to make sure that you're front-loading your calendar. So you want to pack as much activity into the first 2 weeks of the month. So imagine hitting your goal in your first 2 weeks of your month. That is pretty amazing stuff. And you're just only going to go up from there. And that also leaves room for cancellations and rebookings. And if you haven't learned already, cancellations are a part of this business. And they used to really get me down in the beginning, and I used to, be so excited because I have, 1 second, I'm going to make sure this is still recording because I'm scared that it stopped. Oh, it is. Okay. where was I with that? Cancellations. Sorry, guys. So yes, I used to always get down, you know, in the first couple months that I started, like, oh, like I'm so excited, I have 6 parties, and then suddenly I only have 2 left in the month. You know, yeah, it is a letdown in the beginning, but now I expect it. And the only way to overcome cancellations is to overbook your calendar. So remember this, if you want if you want to hold 6 parties in a month, you need to be booking 8. If you want to hold 8 parties in a month, you need to be booking 10. And if you want to hold 10 parties in a month, you need to be booking 12. Guaranteed, you will have cancellations or rebookings. So really think about that. And trust me, with this dice game, you will be overloaded. Another thing about booking parties is if you book parties from a party, and your goal should be to at least book 1 party off of a party. That's pretty awesome if you're getting that. And with the dice game, we're getting, you know, up to 5 parties from 1 party. It's really important to book the party that night at the party. So again, same thing. Let's just book a tentative date. I can fill you in. You know, I'm actually pretty busy, so I want to make sure that I have a day for you in this month. And then if it doesn't work out, then we can reschedule. But let's just get you in. So trust me, it is not easy to get a hold of people after they've left the party. So make sure that you're that you're getting everyone booked in as fast as you can. So what else do I have to say? So you want to also have a revolving calendar. So don't look at months. Look at 4 weeks at a time. So for example, today, we should be looking all the way up until December 11th. And this will help you front load your calendars, first of all. And second, you won't get to the first of the month and think, oh my gosh, I have nothing booked for this month. You want to be proactive in this business, okay? So it's a 4-week revolving calendar. So everybody works themselves sick at the end of the month all the time. They're pushing for volume. You know, try to have that volume already completed by the middle of the month. And if you're always working within kind of a 4 to 6 week rotation, you're never going to have any issues, and you'll always have room for rebooking or cancellations. And the other thing to know is overbook. And I can't remember if I just said that or not, but definitely overbook. Even double book your days, you're going to get cancellations. Okay, what else do I have to tell you about? 1 second here. So I'm going to also mention a little bit about your first month in Arbonne and what is really important that you should be doing. So when you first join this business, it is really, really important to Arbonnize your home. Okay. Now I know some of you might not have the finances to, you know, invest a lot of money, and that's okay. There's ways around that, but you should do the best that you can do to Arbonnize your home. And if you think about it this way, if you owned a bakery and you said to your friend, "Oh, I'm just going to go buy some cookies from Sobeys," what are they going to think about your bakery, right? That's kind of, you know, they're probably not going to trust your bakery very much if you yourself are going to buy cookies from Sobeys. So it's the same thing. You want people to come over, and you want them to see in your bathroom and in your kitchen and on your face and, you know, on your skin. Not that they can see cream on your skin, but they need to see that these products are amazing and you use them for every part of your lifestyle, and your friends and family do as well. Also, it's really hard to recommend products and to know the products if you haven't tried them. Okay, so it is really important to try the products. And your upline is here. That's totally okay if you can't afford right now to buy a lot of products, but we can definitely provide you with some to try. And like I said, sorry, I'm also just reading here. Like I said, the more that you can recommend, and the more people will trust you and what they want to buy. And also, you want to have genuine answers for people that are asking you about the products. And I've tried all the skincare lines, and I get asked about all the skincare lines, and I can, you know, honestly tell them what I think about them, and that makes a huge difference in your sales. You know, how much willing are you to buy something when you say, well, have you tried this? And they say, no, not really, and I don't really know what to say about it. So as much as you can, try to urbanize your home. There are ways with your host rewards to use your host rewards, and I'm actually not going to talk about host rewards on this training, but I'm actually going to do another video on host rewards. But there are different ways to save money, and not everybody has been taught that on our team. I know that for sure. So I am going to make another video just strictly on the host rewards and going through your web stats and whatnot. So another really good thing in the beginning of your month is to have some launch parties. And I know all of you have heard about launch parties, but perhaps some of you don't actually know, what exactly is a launch party. And a launch party is you. It's the party for you, and you are going to host it. So you're not asking any friends to have a launch party for you. You are hosting it, and you're going to invite 3 to 6 people, okay? It does not have to be a huge grand opening or anything like that. Like you said, you all know that the parties are, that we like parties from 3 to 6 people max. So your launch parties can have 3 people, your mom, your sister, and your aunt, something like that, okay? That is where your sponsor will come, whether it's me or the person that has sponsored you, and we will do the whole party, and that is where you learn how to do a party. And you'll hear exactly the way it goes, and we'll teach you how to do the checkout and all the sales and the discounts and whatnot. Now, at your launch parties, you can provide special deals for the people that come. So you can your launch parties are going to be your warm market people, so your friends and your family. And you want to try to have 4 of those launch parties, and that would be awesome if you had them all in the first month. That is a very, very good start. So if you can think of 10 people right now that you would want to invite to your launch party, split it up and tell each person, go ahead and bring a guest if you want, and ask for referrals. Do you know anyone who you think would like to come to this? You can make invites. You can send out e-invitations, but the best way is to call people and invite them. And you can have specials at those launch parties. At one of my launch parties, I know I gave away, for every person that brought a guest, they got a gift, and it was just the mini hand cream and the mini lotions. People are really happy to get that. For another lunch party I had, there was some door prizes, and so people came in. Everyone that came in had a little piece of paper with numbers on it, and they won some door prizes. So you can make it fun, you guys. It doesn't have to be serious, but what they have to know is that you're having a launch party to launch your business, and that's really important that they know that, and that you want to share your business. It's like every other business out there. They all have grand openings, okay? So think about this as your grand opening, and these are your products, and you want the world to know about it. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is building your team. Now, your team is your livelihood, okay? Your team is going to be a big part of your business. Now, you need to focus 80% on you and your personal activity and 20% on your team. So what is really, really important is that you're teaching your team and the people who you sponsored, your team, you're teaching them how to do exactly what you're doing. So you yourself need to be duplicatable, okay? I read in a network marketing book a couple nights ago. This guy had started up in his network marketing company, and he had a grand opening or a launch, and it was on his yacht, and he had waiters and hors d'oeuvres, and they sailed around the marina, and he had like 40 people on his yacht, and they did a video, and they did their launch, and they explained it, and he had 90% of the people signed up, but his team after that, they weren't doing anything, and his business was going nowhere. And he said to someone, I have all these people signed up, and they're not succeeding. And the person said, well, where was your launch party? He said, it was on my yacht. And the guy said, well, how many people have a yacht? Right? So it's just a really good example is you need to be duplicatable, and you need to keep it simple. So in terms of building your team, you want to think of people that are positive, successful, hardworking, genuine. The really great, amazing thing about this business is you get to handpick your team. You get to choose who you work with. And a lot of times you want to go look out there for people who are like you, motivated, courageous. All of you are obviously very courageous and motivated and determined, and you're all very unique, and there is a very good reason why you all have started this business. And imagine if you could just teach another you and turn another person into you. And imagine they turned another person into you, and another one, okay? That is how you're going to build your business. You definitely want to use your upline to help build your team. So when you say to people, when you ask them to hear about the business, when you ask them that you want to share the opportunity with them, can we go for a coffee? Call your upline, call me, call Jamie, call your sponsor, ask them to come with you. It really helps to have another person. It helps with the validity of it. And the legitimacy. And also, you've never done a business launch before, or sorry, a business coffee before, so it's good to have someone else there just to see kind of the way it goes. So always call me. If you have anyone interested in the business, then we can definitely sit down. If you're okay to do it yourself, then by all means, do it yourself. That's great. Another really great way to build your team, and this is what hooked me, was I went to a Discover Arbonne. So Discover Arbonnes are your DAs. That's what you hear. We have one every month, and often we'll have a couple a month, but the main one is our region meeting. It's the first Wednesday of every month. And those DAs are awesome ways to get people introduced to the business. And they explain the business, the company. There's tons of DAs on online and the source. So if you can get some people to a DA, that's a great way to introduce them to the business. They also see lots of other people. They see, Jamie and Claire with their Mercedes-Benz out there. That's a really great way. But in saying that, it only comes around once a month. So if you have someone interested on December 7th, don't wait until January 1st for them to join or for you to introduce it to them, okay? You want to have a coffee with them. You want to get them started as soon as possible. And you also want to host a dream team. Now, in my first month, I got to district manager in my first month. I think it was like the third day that I started this business, I had a dream team. And a dream team is where you and your team, if you have anybody else, get together and they each bring a guest that they think would be awesome at the business. And Jamie and Claire will come and they will do a mini DA. So it's just like a one-on-one coffee or a really large DA, but it's just in a smaller form. So grab, and you don't have to, you can ask anyone to come and learn about the opportunity. Trust me, when they try the products and learn about this opportunity, they're going to be intrigued. So you can just ask them, do you a favor, do you want to come? Do you mind coming? Would you be willing to have a coffee with me to hear about the opportunity? What I always use is, you seemed intrigued about the business, or I thought your personality is awesome and I think you'd be very good at what I do. I'm wondering if you want to come for a coffee. I can share about the opportunity, talk to you a little about the business, and if it's not a fit for you, no big deal. Coffee on me. And that is straight from Jamie's verbiage training, which is straight from Claire's verbiage, which is up and up and up, okay? And it works really nicely, but you know what? All this verbiage, I know that it might come off sounding cheesy, but the people that I talk to, I really genuinely want them to know about the opportunity. So this is about also changing people's lives, and you need to remember that as well. If you know a single mom who's struggling and works 12 hours a day and never gets to see her kids, this is the type of business that can be for her. And when you start changing people's lives, that's when this really starts to take form. So in a lot of network marketing books, they say that you haven't given your business a shot if it hasn't been a year. So you might have a few really crappy months, and they say that your business really can't fail unless you've given it 5 years. So think really long and hard about that. And before you quit and say it doesn't work, you need to give it a year. What this business is right now for me, and I've been in it for 9 months, is nothing compared to what I thought it was 9 months ago. I have grown immensely, and it really can change lives, and I mean that genuinely. And when you talk to people about it, you want to be genuine about it, and you want people to believe, because it really is. It is true. So I'm just thinking if I have anything else to say to you guys. Sorry, this was a pretty casual, informal conversation. So I think that's all I have to say. I just want to make sure I'm going through all of Jamie's notes. I didn't miss anything from this training, but I don't think I have. Yeah. I think I've said everything I want to say. The only thing that some of you may be missing is a tutorial of your web stats and how to put in orders, host rewards, and all of that. So like I said, I'm going to make another video explaining the host rewards, and you need to have a look at your web stats as well. So give your sponsor a call or give me a call, and we can definitely sit down and I can take you through how to put in orders and how to navigate your web stats and all that. So I think that's all. Thank you for listening. And holy smokes, I just looked at myself in the camera and I don't look as nice as I thought I did, but that's okay. All right, you guys, I'll talk to you later.